welcome. 6 minutes in. Thank you guys for your patience. Over the past 2 weeks, I have traveled about 400 miles. I have seen 6 doctors, gotten a lot of information from all of them, some of which is really sound, some of which are guesses, and I'm pretty wiped out. So I really wanted to spend some time talking with you guys about how I decide to make these big trips. When is this cost worthwhile? Because every medical appointment has a cost, not just a medical bill. There is an energy cost, there's an opportunity cost. You could be doing something else with that time. There's the hope that builds up that you're going to find an answer. And then there's the exhaustion. You're draining your energy, you're draining your battery, and I can always be assured I'm going to have PEM. Amanda, you make a good point about not driving anymore and relying on your husband. My husband is also really supportive and he'll drive me whenever he can, but these are weekday hours where doctor's appointments are. We have kids. It's not always feasible for someone in my family to drive me there and back. So this is a really important topic, right? How do we make sure that a medical appointment and an effort it takes to see a doctor is not going to cause us more harm than good? Let's talk about the contrast between what we want our medical appointments to do and what tends to happen. What we want our appointments to do and our interactions with healthcare to do is to give us clarity, and to lead us in a forward direction in our recovery, to add progress, to help us get better. And those things sometimes happen, sometimes partially happen, sometimes they don't happen at all. But what does happen, the other side of the coin, is that all of these medical appointments can lead to fatigue. They can add to confusion, especially when you're hearing someone's opinion that might be different from what you've been doing or what you understood up until then. But what we want to come out of it is clarity and a new step, a step in the right direction. And what can often happen is that your health, at least temporarily, can become derailed and you don't really know what the next step is. You can become even more confused. So today I want to show you how I decide when it's worth it and what's not worth it. So we talked a little bit about the cost of traveling for medical appointments or medical appointments in general. And so I think it's important that we reframe the way we think about doctor's visits, as appointments are not neutral. They do have a cost. Like I was saying, there's an energy cost, there's a cognitive cost, there's the emotional cost, and there's an opportunity cost. Should I be spending my time at this appointment or should I be doing something else? Every appointment in your calendar should earn its place in your recovery. And in order to do that, you have to be very clear on the purpose and the goals of each visit. Before I go see a doctor, especially when it's someone new, or even if it's a follow up, like with my primary care, I need to ask myself, what is the goal of this visit, this current visit? Am I looking for a diagnosis? Am I asking about a treatment that I think needs to be modified or changed, or a new treatment to start? Am I looking for reassurance, maybe clarify questions, brainstorming about something that's been on my mind? That's a really valid reason to see your doc. And then the fourth thing that's really important, one important goal of some visits, is that you're trying to access something else. But a referral might get you access to a specialty or a field or a brain that might be able to give insight into your situation. You might want to access a test the results of which could determine your next step, or you're trying to get some documentation done, right? If you don't have a clear goal for your visit, it might not be the time to go yet. But there's a big caveat to this. If you have been referred to another specialist or another doctor, you need to understand why. Every referral that a doctor writes for another specialist has to have a reason, an indication. And it's very important that you understand what that indication is. That indication is what the new specialist is going to focus on. Sometimes the referral is requested by you. Sometimes, very importantly, one of your doctors will say, hey, I think you need to see, for instance, cardiologist. If that isn't you didn't initiate that, it's very important to understand why your doctor thinks it's important. And this will help determine the urgency of that appointment. If you don't understand that indication, it might be easier for you to put it off to your own detriment. I want to share so much information with you, but sometimes I get ahead of myself. So feel free to drop questions in the chat or your experiences. I see a lot of people sharing the experience of having to travel really long distances. It takes a toll. Okay, so I want to see a doctor. I know why, specifically why I want to see them. And I have an idea of how urgent this issue is. We're going to come back to that in a little bit, but that's really important. Once I know or understand what the purpose of the referral is, I then ask myself, what decision is going to be potentially made by seeing this provider? If this is something where nothing in my treatment strategy is going to change, I may put that on the back burner or less urgent. If there's a really pressing decision that hinges on the input of your doctor, that has a higher value and is probably more urgent. I am getting emails from a lot of you asking, how do I decide to try like a stellate ganglion block? I'm really wanting to get it. It's really front of mind. And those kinds of conversations you can have with me, but also with your doctor. And so by talking through what a potential treatment is, especially if it's really front of mind. And you guys have probably had this experience where you like get something in your brain, you heard about something and you just can't let it go. You really want to know if this is right for you. Those types of things might take priority too. It's also important when I am looking for a doctor to ask, what's the likelihood that this person is actually going to help me? Do they treat this condition regularly? Do they have a particular tool or a specific skill that I need? Or is this kind of a fishing expedition? I encourage everyone to take a nice deep breath and remember you're doing a great job. You're going to have cycles where you feel really good, and you're going to have times when you feel poorly. There are others who are experiencing the same thing, myself included. And we have this big, overwhelming, sometimes healthcare system. And sometimes we think there's nothing even in there for us. It's like my closet. I have so many clothes and I don't have outfits, but there is a way to maximize your wardrobe. If the wardrobe in this analogy is the healthcare system, we have to do so with intention, recognizing what exactly we need and finding the resources that we need in a way that doesn't do us more harm. Thank you so much for joining me today on Long COVID MD. I'm Dr. Zeest Khan. I'm going to share this video with you guys through Substack, and I'll post it on YouTube. share with anybody, and let me know what else you want me to talk about. I will get back to episodes about different treatment strategies soon, but I got to get through this hard period of my own healthcare. So I hope you'll be patient with me. I love hearing from you guys, and have a good weekend. Bye.